Kwan, let's quickly talk about the weekend, especially Sunday's results, some of the games, In the Premier League, Newcastle are back flying high. They defeated Ange Postecoglou's Nottingham Forest by 2-0. It was an incredible display second half, especially in the second half, that Newcastle were able to get their goals. On the other hand, Aston Villa has won their second match in a row for the first time this season by defeating Burnley 2-1, which was an incredible game on Sunday. So it's for a showdown. And the tight match of yesterday was between Everton and Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace scoring first at Everton in the first half, and Everton came back in the second half and equalized, came back to the game and win the game. Incredible display too. Manchester City is an example of, if you have to win the league, if you have to win a match, you have to learn to defend and also learn to attack. When you attack, you don't defend. That's why you score useless goals, because whenever you score a lot of goals, your defense cannot be able to defend them. Manchester City played in a rough way yesterday. They weren't able to express themselves in the pitch against Brentford. This Brentford side is giving a lot of big teams headache. It was incredible to see Manchester City being the different makers, Manchester City defenders being the different makers, especially Donnarumma, who was incredible. Manchester City were able to beat Brentford by 1-0, which was an incredible display. In the other hands, Barcelona embarrassingly lost to Sevilla. I think this was the goals they could have considered against PSG that they are now conceded against Sevilla. Sevilla went 2 goals up in the first half. First penalty by Sanchez and open play goals. In the second, before the first half end, Rashford was able to get one back. Incredible assist by Pedri. In the second half, Lewandowski had the chance to put the games in level by 2-2, but missed the sports kick, which take a wrong toe in the game. And at the end of the day, Barcelona lost the game by 4-1. Congratulations to Sevilla for beating Barcelona for the first time in 10 years. Incredible game. In Italy, AC Milan were held 0-0 draw by Juventus. AC Milan had the opportunity to beat Juventus because they played really well, but Christian Pulisic wasted the sports kick, which was the reason why Juventus were able to have a 1 point. It was a boring match for me because I don't like to see 0-0 games. It's not good to see 0-0 games. If they have to play draw, let them score goals and play a goals draw. So the match ended 0-0. All blames to Christian Pulisic for failing to convert a penalty, the sports kick. Islam really played very well. Kylian Mbappe was on the stand as he cheered for his brother, who scored against PSG to help PSG on a 1-1 draw in the French League 1. Nuno Mendes opened the score and with an incredible free kick. The French League is looking very tight. The table is